Sairam. On the 15th of May 1970, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, our dear Swami, the Kali Yuga Krishna, travelled to the abode of the Dwapara Yuga Krishna, the city of Dwarka in Gujarat state in India. Swami was a guest to the royal family at Jamnagar. The Rajmata of Jamnagar had invited Swami, and Swami had travelled there from the city of Bombay, which is today called Mumbai. How the royal family of Jamnagar became devotees of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is another fascinating and beautiful story, which we shall reserve for another video. The Rajmata desired to take Swami to both Dwarka and Somnath. In fact, in Somnath, Swami would be inaugurating the Digvijay Dwar, which was so named after Digvijay Singh Ji, the Jam Sahib of Jamnagar. He has been a patron of this great Jyotirlinga temple at Somnath, and the story there is again fascinating. And Swami inaugurated this on the 17th of May 1970. That is another fascinating story which I have narrated at this link above. You can visit and watch it after watching this video. The link will also be in the description section. So now, as Swami and his entourage of devotees travelled from Jamnagar to Dwarka, it's possibly a drive of 2 hours. So many thousands of other devotees as well, who were not part of the entourage, travelled to Dwarka. Well, it is amazing how the devotee gets to know of the Lord's plans, despite it being kept a secret in the physical sense. I think this is the heart-to-heart connection that God has with the devotees. Wherever the Lord is, people somehow find it and they arrive there. So when Swami's entourage arrived at Dwarka, it was so crowded that Swami could barely enter the temple. When it was so difficult from a security perspective, even for Swami to step in, you can imagine no member of the entourage could go in. In fact, the temple authorities came with their hands folded and humbly bowed to Swami and asked, "Swami, can you please come some other day in secret? We are unable to manage the crowds." Swami smiled, blessed them, and Swami stood at the gateway itself and gave darshan to so many devotees, thousands and thousands, who were overflowing the temple premises and whose hearts were overflowing with joy at witnessing Swami. It was indeed a very special day for those devotees. Along with Krishna, the Dwapara Yuga Krishna, they had darshan of the Kali Yuga Krishna. So from there, Swami drove on to the north of Dwarka to a town called Mithapur. Mithapur is famous for one of India's oldest and foremost companies, Tata Chemicals Limited. The Tata family is a very wonderful family with a beautiful history, and they have played a major role in shaping India as a nation. In fact, the latest member of the family who recently passed away is Shri Ratan Tata ji. He too has had a very beautiful relationship with Swami, and that has been covered in detail at this link above. You can watch that again after this video. So Swami went to this Mithapur and he visited the Tata factories there, and all the workers and members in the company got a beautiful opportunity to interact with Swami, to hear Swami's discourse, get inspired and get charged by divine darshan, sparshan and sambhashan. In the evening, Swami began his journey back to Jamnagar via the same route he had taken. On the way, Swami knew that all these devotees are a little bit disappointed because they had great expectations of the Dwarka visit, and that had not materialized. So Swami had something very special planned for them. Swami stopped at the seashore near a village called Kuranga. It comes en route from Dwarka to Jamnagar. And at this Kuranga village, Swami walked on the seashore. It was beautiful to see Swami alone on the seashore, the breeze blowing his hair. Wow, so beautiful, such a lovely darshan. And Swami asked the devotees to select any spot to sit. And when the devotees chose one sandy area, Swami also sat there. And then Swami began to reveal the stories of Krishna. Sai Krishna narrating stories of Shri Krishna. Such a beautiful experience, such a beautiful satsang. And as he was doing this, Swami was drawing something in the sand. And after a while, Swami plunged his hand into the sand and pulled out the most exquisite, beautiful gold idol of Lord Shri Krishna with the flute on his lips. And then when Swami showed it to everyone, Swami asked, "What is this?" Everyone exclaimed. They said, "Swami, it is the statue of gold. It is the statue of Krishna. It is an idol of Krishna. Swami, this is gold itself." They were also thrilled and excited. When Swami asked the Rajmata, "Rajmata, what is this?" She said, "Swami, this is my Kanhaiya, this is my Kanha, this is my Gopal." Then Swami said, "See, all of you saw the gold and the statue. She sees her Krishna. This Krishna belongs to her." And Swami gifted that beautiful golden idol of Krishna to the Rajmata. Swami chauffeur, who had come from Mithapur, was a devotee of Bhavani, the Devi, the goddess. So Swami waved his hand and materialized an idol of Amba Bhavani, his dear goddess, and gifted it to him. He was delighted. So all of these beautiful things happened, after which Swami and the entourage returned back to Jamnagar. It was around 9 p.m. at night on the 15th of May 1970. Well, as the Rajmata went to bed thinking that it was a beautiful day, she had no clue that another big drama was about to begin. Now, Swami had a very tight schedule and itinerary during his visit to Gujarat. Swami had to inaugurate an Ayurvedic college that had been built and supported by the royal family at Jamnagar. He had to visit a Sainik school, and so many other things were there on the agenda. That was when something possibly unsavory, unwanted and unexpected happened. You see, whenever the Lord's glory grows, right, it is not just the devotees who are attracted. The non-devotees also come because they are curious. Those who are open-minded, they become devotees because their heart is touched and they overrule their mind with their hearts. But those who do not become critics. They become against, and they try different ways to bring down the glory of the avatar, not realizing that those very efforts actually glorify the avatar even more. That is exactly what happened. Somehow, the Archeological Survey of India, ASI department members, got to know about this golden Krishna idol that was in the custody of the Rajmata. So they came with a big team to raid the royal palace. They said that, see, very soon an act is going to be passed, the Antiquities Act. In fact, I think it was passed in 1972, 2 years later. They said it is going to be passed, and based on that, anything of antique value that is found anywhere in a public space, in an archaeological survey site, or even in your own backyard, all of that belongs to the central government. So this Krishna idol that has been unearthed should be given to us. Now, they thought they were speaking with the Rajmata, a former administrative ruler, but they didn't realize that they were speaking to Srimati Gulab Kunverba, who was a devotee of the Lord. She decided, over my dead body they will get that statue. No way, they will not get it. She just refused to allow them to even see the idol. She said, "It's my Kanha." You have to approach Kanha with love and reverence, not this kind of investigative mindset and this critical and this kind of grabbing kind of mindset. In fact, as brother Indreshwar Singh Sirohi, the grandson of the Rajmata, narrates in this beautiful Samarpan talk, which is linked here above, the Rajmata got her forces, the artillery, the cavalry, the infantry, all of them. She summoned them. She said, "We will fight for it if need be." It was a tense atmosphere around there. People were scared that bullets and cannonballs would be flying. So there was the cavalry, the infantry, the army, all of them were summoned. Somehow good sense prevailed and this was taken to Swami. Because all of this was happening in the ground floor of the palace. In the first floor, Swami was sitting comfortably on the jhula. And they came to Swami and said, "Swami, this is what has happened. Do something, please intervene, otherwise it's going to be a violent situation." Swami said, "Why are you so worried? Ask them to date the idol then. what is the date, which period does it belong to, then only it becomes an antique, right? Let them date it, let them determine which era it belongs to, who made it, and then let them take the steps accordingly. Now that Swami had said it, Rajmata went and surrendered her kanat to them and said, please let us know why it's an antique, which era does it belong to, how many years old it is, who made it, and all of these. Now, after 24 hours of intense study, the group of experts from the Archeological Survey of India come and say, now this is an enigma for us. It has incorporated, styles from across the country. We cannot say that it belongs to this region or that. See, because the way the face is, whether the eyes are looking into infinity or close by, the way the ornamentation is, the way the clothes are draped around, the shape of the body, the face, the crown, all of these in the idol help them to determine which part of India did it come from, which century was it made. But they said that it has features from regions all across the country. And it has styles that are 2000 years old, that are 1000 years old, that are recent, modern as well. We are just unable to determine which era it belongs to, which region it belongs to. Then how can you call it an antique? Just leave it here and go on. And that's what they had to do. They had to leave it behind, and the Rajmata was triumphant. She took back her kanha to her shrine. But her woes were far from complete, because these people were determined not to let their noses get cut in this manner. They came armed with another act, another legislation. This was not something that is going to be enacted, it was already in vogue. The Gold Act of 1968 had been enacted in order to preserve the forex reserves in India. And I will not go into all those details now, but this much I will tell. As per the law, now this rule existed till 1990 when it was removed, but till then, even a goldsmith could not keep more than 100 grams of gold with him. Anything more than that will be confiscated by the government. Now this idol was more than 1.5 feet. It was about 18 inches long, and it was easily more than 2 kilograms in weight. So they came armed with this law and said, as per the Gold Act, we will confiscate this. Now again the Rajmata was furious. Again Swami intervened, and Swami said, Rajmata, don't worry, let them determine whether it is 14 karat gold or 18 karat gold, 22 karat gold, what it is. Let them find out and let us know. Now at that time, as I said, it was also a rule that any jewels and all these made from gold should not be more than 14 carats. Because they didn't want too much gold to get into anything. They wanted to reduce India's gold import bill. And that is why all these rules were in place. And if this is something that is 22 or 24 karat gold, as those people from the Archeological Survey of India believed, it will be immediately confiscated. And so they began their analysis. Again, the experts came and they took their filing instrument and filed a small part below Lord Krishna's foot. It broke the Rajmata's heart, but she permitted them because Swami had said so. And they were also careful not to infuriate her. They tried to take as little portion as possible from the foot, under the sole. They scrubbed with the filer to get some few particles so that they can analyze. And they analyzed, came back, filed the foot again, analyzed, again filed, analyzed. That government filer got so many Padanamaskars of Shri Krishna. At the end of that, the experts hung their heads low and they said, this is not 24 karat gold, it is not 22 karat gold, it is not gold, it is not silver, it is not copper, zinc, brass. In fact, it is not any of the metals that we know, and we are simply stumped and stupefied, wondering, what is this? What on earth is this? It was nothing that can be found on earth. It is possibly nothing that could be found in this solar system itself, because it is a divine object. It is something divine that Swami had materialized from the sands. And Swami was smiling and the Rajmata was grinning as her Kanha came back again to her shrine. The Antiquity Act had been defeated, the Gold Act had been defeated, as will any other force on earth and the universe be defeated, because this has come from the same force and source from which the entire universe has emerged. And it does not end there. As Brother Gopal Indreshwar narrated, this statue, this idol, was non-terrestrial while the government people were checking it, and it had confounded them. But once they left and the state jeweler checked it, it was pure gold. Wow! The Rajmata had made a gold mantapam specially to house this beautiful idol of her Kanha. And in the later years, she passed on this mantapam as well as this golden idol of Krishna back to Swami. The idol returned to the source. Even to this day, in the bhajan hall at Prashantinilayam in Puttaparthi, the golden mantapam is still there. As for the idol of Lord Krishna, I feel it is back with the source, with Bhagawan. It was brought as a Leela and it has disappeared as part of that same Leela. Dear brothers and sisters, as I conclude this, I just want to leave you with one thought. The Lord does so many Leelas. Why does He do all these? He does these Leelas for the sake of His devotees, non-devotees and critics. Yes, the devotees like you, me, we will enjoy this Leela. We will be so happy, and it gives us another reason to think about our Swami, to feel gratitude towards Him, to feel love towards Him. For the non-devotees, as I said, those who are open-minded, it makes them wonder, Kalayo Vaishnava Mayayo, what is this? It makes them wonder that there is something beyond the science, something that is beyond their minds. This is not anything that can be comprehended by the mind, but has to be experienced by the heart. It gives them an opportunity to develop faith. And as for the critics, whether they accept or not, they too spend time contemplating about the Lord, thinking about the Lord. Whatever emotion it might be, they are nevertheless thinking of the Lord, and that in itself will bless them. When the Rajmata touched the feet of that Krishna in reverence, she was blessed. So was that government filer that was filing the foot of the Lord Krishna. He too, and that instrument too, was blessed because they touched the feet of the Lord. And that is how the Lord blesses the devotee, the non-devotee and the critic as well. If we have been blessed with faith for Swami and love for Swami, it is indeed the greatest blessing. It makes us enjoy these Leelas and makes us bend down, fold our hands in gratitude to Swami and pray, Dear Swami, the love for you that we have in our hearts, may it keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.